Good day, how y'all doing today? Everybody seems to do things a little different, but I'll show you what I do in this process. If you've been following along in the videos, you've seen me, I built all this. Just ran the trunk out of metal, put the package tray in, done some structural work, even done some floor work, coming a long ways on this car. Down in here, I've already wiped this down with fiberglass after the weld took place to water seal it. Now, I know it goes, there's a weather strip that goes here, a sealer. And what I had to do is I put the trunk on it and pushed everything up to get my weather seal tight to where I knew that was right. Now I'm going back and I'm going to do that cosmetic down in there. I'm going to make that just smooth as a button, and this is where I begin with it.
Working in the trenches today.
Now I boarded it with this Flex Fix, which is some ductwork tape, mainly because this particular thing right here is something going to be hard to sand if you ever deal with it, because somebody pulls that molding out. I want it to look good under that molding. So to do the cosmetic work, I put this Flex Fix on here so I can make this on a one swipe deal. Now, as I say swipe, I put this on the edge. Mainly that roll that I created there, even though I filed it and cut it down, it can cut you. This is something that you got to get with it. I've always been told I couldn't do nothing without putting my fingers right in the middle of it. So here you go. I'm fixing to show you a custom. There's got to be a word for that. Custom white. There's supposed to be a way to wipe your Bondo, put your Bondo on there so it don't have pinholes in it. I've yet to find that way. I know I could tell you, they say you're supposed to fold it in. Fold the hardener in. Just continue to fold it in. And they say don't stir it like this. Well, after might near 50 years, I've folded it, flipped it, wiped it, used a paint paddle to mix it and stir it. But the main thing is to get it mixed and get it completely mixed. The pinholes is just part of it. What you really want to do is, if you don't get it mixed good, the paint will react, the primer will react to it. And not only that, you'll not have pinholes, but you'll have craters, because it's just going to bubble up where it doesn't get mixed. So what I'm saying here is mix it thoroughly. And some people use a stick, some people do it this way. I've been doing it this way so long, whether it's correct or not, I probably try a different way. I wouldn't even get it mixed in like it needs to be. So this works for me. You actually have a time limit. Once you put that hardener in there, you have a certain amount of time to get it stirred and applied before it gets hard. A little cool today, so it got a little more time. It is temperature related. I actually warmed up my mixture, my plastic body filler. Now this is the key. This is where they say, I wouldn't do that. Well, you'll be doing a lot of sanding is what you'll be doing. This way, I'll put it in there just exactly like I want it the first time, and I will run it enough to know that I've got a great seal on it. It's what we're going for. It's just like putting a sealer in there. I know a lot of people say, well, that's not going to work. Well, people use it on all kinds of products. If you bust a piece of wood, this is what you're going to put in it to fix that bust. If you're going to continue to have that cosmetic fullness look, and that's what we're looking for. We're looking for something that looks untampered, because whether you like it or not, whether you want to place it in that category or not, this is a sculpture and this is art. And we're creating something today out of the materials that God gave us. I said, man, that stuff's probably bad for you. Okay, wear gloves, but this is the way to do it. I'm sure if I had a pair of gloves that would go down in there right now, that's what I'd be doing. Do you see this white right here? This is exactly how I want that finish to look. That's exactly how smooth I want it to look. Just as smooth as that wiping that fender. Wiping that finger in there. All right, let me go to the other side. Try to get this in here before I lose my material. By losing my material, I say before it dries. Now I'm looking at it. I'm looking at what I want out of it. Got a decent amount of light on it for this shop anyway. Now it's not that far off in there. It's a little bit. We want to get a smooth product, something we can live with. When I lay down at night, I ain't gonna worry about nobody reaching off in there and not feeling the smooth surface. What we're going for. Little noisy in here. Heater's blowing. Air compressor's coming on. This is called getting involved in your work. You got all the time you need till you don't. When you quit getting that smooth white, something's going on. It's a chemical reaction, just like the paint that we have now. You have a, what do you call that? The words escape me at the moment. I guess I'm trying to get this on here. Surfactant. type thing we're dealing with. Make it stick. And it's also that activator, the hardener, which is, it's almost, if you read it, I've always been curious about it, but if you read it, it says it's like hydrogen peroxide that you're putting in this Bondo to activate it. Now, I've never actually put hydrogen peroxide in my Bondo, but it takes an activator. And then you put your activator in there. I did try something the other day, like putting thinner in my Bondo to try to get it smoother, connect better. Depends on what kind of thinner we're talking about, doesn't it? If you put lacquer thinner in it, a little bit, just a little bit, it will work. If you put urethane in there, it doesn't work. It removes the surfactant. When I talk about surfactant, I mean it removes the thing that makes it sticky. And either way it goes, it needs to be sticky, doesn't it? Well, we'll put this in the middle of something. All right. Well, there it goes. It's through cooperating. So unless I want to do a lot of sanding, the excess needs to be removed at this point. I'm not all about sanding. So I'm pulling the tape now. See if I can't make this curve work for me. Give me a prettier look here. Reminds me of the day, back in the day, I guess. Silly putty. Well, I tell you what, I'm still getting it all over me. All right. Now, I put that on there. Again, like I said, reduce the sanding. Keep from cutting my finger and all that good stuff. This is usually the part that they don't show. They make it look all easy. But I'm gonna tell you something, just like that. The beauty is in the details. And if the details don't matter to you, you're just doing a job. You're not creating art. You're not enjoying yourself. Quality is important. And the beauty is in the details. All right, marching forward. I'm not too crazy about the dust on a situation like this. There's no way around it. But I got a piece of 36 here. And I'm trying to create that roll. I'm trying to put it in there. And one way to keep the dust down just a little bit is to try to do a little shaping while it's not necessarily wet, but while it's almost dry. And what you get is filings instead of dust. Filings instead of dust. And it definitely takes a whole lot less effort if you work it while it's pliable. In any of it, you need to figure out a way to keep your dust down. Maybe even use less sandpaper. That's why, and I'm pretty old school myself. That's why I use a cheese file when I'm shaping things. I file it while it's a little damp. And even this is kind of the same type of process. Now, the cheese file came from the lead, carving the lead. Like the repairs were made with lead, which became, well, not a good idea to handle lead. That's a poisonous fumes when you heat it, and it's not a good idea. A lot of things were not a good idea back in the day. Lead was one of them. But the idea of filing it and cutting it in while it was soft can transfer over into what we're doing right now. So we got a little shape going on in here now. It's clean. Straight edges. Edges are pulling straight. With a little bit of sandpaper. Kind of favors sculpture, doesn't it? Doing a little sculpting. Well, depends on how much you want it to be right. You're going to have to
Be creative, even in the trenches. If you want to see more of these videos, like, subscribe. Thank you for watching, and God bless you.